an important year ahead where we want to show progress and we want to be fighting for more things than last year, where I prepared myself the best I could, and I'm confident we can make step forwards.
Has Ferrari given Carlos Sainz the best time of his life? F1 is stunned as Sainz leaves Ferrari for Williams in 2025. Fans agree his peak performance was undoubtedly with the Ferrari team, so we have picked the very best from the best for you to enjoy. Number 5 is Carlos Sainz's shocking victory at the 2023 Australian Grand Prix. Until 2023, Carlos Sainz was more of a supporting actor than a leading man in the thrilling drama of Formula One. Sure, he'd grabbed a Grand Prix win here and there, but to be honest, he wasn't exactly setting the world on fire. Then came the Australian Grand Prix. It was like the scriptwriter had thrown caution to the wind and written one of the most unexpected plot twists in F1 history. Everyone was expecting Max Verstappen and his Red Bull team to dominate, as usual. But fate, or maybe just plain luck, had other plans. Things were looking good for Verstappen until his brakes started acting up. And when we say acting up, we mean really acting up. Smoke started coming out of the back of his RB20, and it was clear something was seriously wrong. To avoid causing a crash, he had to pull off the racing line and let the pack pass him. It was a heartbreaking moment for the reigning champ. With Verstappen out of the picture, Carlos Sainz saw his chance. Starting from second on the grid, he seized the opportunity and never looked back. The Ferrari driver was on fire, holding off a determined challenge from his teammate Charles Leclerc. Sainz drove a flawless race, building a comfortable gap over Lando Norris, Leclerc, and local hero Oscar Piastri. In the end, it was a dominant performance that secured his third Formula One victory. Number 4 is Carlos Sainz's first Grand Prix win at Silverstone in 2022. Carlos had been on the Formula One circuit for a while, but winning a race seemed like a distant dream for many of his fans. But then came the Silverstone race, a day that would change everything. No one could have predicted what was about to happen. As the cars lined up on the grid, anticipation was high, but few would have bet on Carlos to be the star of the show. Yet, with every twist and turn, he inched closer to making history. It was his 150th race, and that was the race in a way that helped Carlos be able to make a name for himself in the books of history of F1. The 2022 British Grand Prix at Silverstone will forever be etched into the annals of Formula One history as the stage for Carlos Sainz's maiden victory. A race full of drama and high-octane action, it was the Spaniard's day to shine. Starting from pole position, Sainz showcased exceptional skill in managing wet conditions, a testament to his growing maturity as a driver. A safety car period midway through the race proved to be a turning point, as Sainz executed a flawless pit stop and emerged ahead of his teammate Charles Leclerc. In fact, this shocked Charles Leclerc. The final laps at Silverstone were nothing short of a nail-biter. Sainz was under fire from Perez and Hamilton, both pushing him to the absolute limit. But the Spaniard held his nerve, crossing the finish line to claim a victory that will be talked about for ages. This win was huge, not just for Sainz but for the entire Ferrari team. It's like they've been injected with a shot of adrenaline. We're talking about a real championship contender here, folks. A bit of skill, a dash of strategy, and maybe a bit of luck all came together perfectly for Sainz and Ferrari. It was a day to remember. Number 3 is Carlos Sainz's heroic comeback in Monza 2022. Carlos absolutely blew us away at Monza. Can you believe it? His comeback was nothing short of legendary. It's like he was on a mission. No wonder so many of you are now totally hooked on Carlos. His driving that day was pure magic. Let's talk about Carlos Sainz's epic comeback at the 2022 Italian Grand Prix. Starting dead last in 18th place, the Spaniard pulled off one of the most incredible drives we've seen in recent memory. We all know how good Carlos is at overtaking, right? Well, he took it to a whole new level that day. It was like watching a symphony of speed and skill. Sainz sliced through the field with such precision and aggression, it was mind-blowing. Opting for a different tire strategy, Sainz maintained a constant pace, closing down the gap to the podium. With fresher tires, he was on the way to challenge for third place, but a late safety car neutralized the race, denying him a chance to utilize his momentum. Carlos Sainz was on fire today. A podium finish was cruelly snatched away by that late safety car, but his drive was absolutely phenomenal. The guy showed incredible skill and determination, lap after lap. It was a performance that electrified the entire Ferrari team. It's a reminder of just how much raw talent is in that garage. Sainz made the impossible seem like a real possibility. He was the architect of a truly incredible comeback. Number 2 is the Singapore Grand Prix victory 2023 by Carlos Sainz for Ferrari. You know how Red Bull has been absolutely dominating Formula 1 lately? Well, Carlos Sainz decided to throw a massive twist in their plans. His win at the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix was like a cold shower for Red Bull fans. It was just unexpected. Imagine the scene: Marina Bay Street circuit, lights blazing, the air thick with humidity. It was the perfect setting for a dramatic race, and Carlos delivered. Starting from third, he stormed to the front and never looked back. It was like watching a master at work. Ferrari was on fire that night, and Sainz was their burning torch. His win wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. But then, there was a crucial moment during the pit stops when a strategic call by the Ferrari team paid dividends. If you remember this moment where Sainz emerged from the pits with fresh tires, just as a safety car was deployed, giving him a significant advantage over his competitors. Number 1 is Carlos Sainz's celebrated rivalry with Charles Leclerc. Beyond the track, things have been heating up between Ferrari's star drivers, Carlos and Charles. If you haven't heard about it yet, buckle up because it's about to be a wild ride. The Ferrari duo, Sainz and Leclerc, are two incredibly talented racers who are both desperate to win. It's a match made in heaven for fans, but it's definitely keeping the team on their edge. You all know that Leclerc, often hailed as the future of Ferrari, exhibits raw speed and fearless driving. Sainz, on the other hand, brings consistency and tactical acumen. The contrasting styles have led to several on-track clashes, with both drivers pushing the limits to claim supremacy. Do you think Carlos still has his heart in Ferrari and not Williams? Do share your thoughts on this in the comments section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye!